Hey, my loves, welcome to the Let's Get Blunt podcast, where we roll something up sweet, pull up our seat, and we talk about healing, usually, right? So today we're going to do a little something different. And for those who don't know, I am a psychic medium. Um, what I used to do for the last 10 years was help individuals with manifestation. And I did that through energy work, energy manipulation, strategic outlooks, and, all that good jazziness. Right. Um, so as you can see, spirit is dropping in. Spirit is dropping in. Okay. Spirit is loud and clear. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read the energy for March. And I think I might start doing this every month. So it would be, some additional podcasts thrown in there at least 1 to 2 times a month, because we're also coming back with the call-in show. So like psychic happy hour. We're about to bring that back. I have to see about when I want to fit that in. So we're going to get into it. First of all, I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to do what I do. Okay. So don't think that this is going to be grandiose performative. It's probably not, because I like sitting here with y'all. I really do. And as you can see, I'm already there, but we're going to bring it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call in my spirit team. They're already here. They already dropped in. You guys saw that. I'm going to call in my spirit team because this had to be something that was needed to be said, or you need to hear, because my spirit team, they just went above and beyond. And I had a interview scheduled today that didn't show up. And so this was meant to be what this is meant to be, right? Today is brought to you by the Indica Kush, right? I also have my all chakra'd out CBD blunt, so that if I'm too high, I could bring it back. And the papers, we have our affirmation rolling papers and stuff like that. Can't see if you could see that, but yeah, because we in there. March feels very abundant for those who have been doing the work, right? And I don't mean the, busting your ass. And it could have been that. It could have been following spirit's guidance about slowing down. It could have been about resting. It could have been about your health. It could have been a lot of things. As long as you were moving in alignment with what it is you said you wanted and desired and all that other shit, it feels like a very abundant month. Now, I will caution that people tend to put abundant and tie a direct financial figure to it. And I'm cautioning you not to do that in this instance. This is not to say that money's not involved or anything like that, but this isn't like I won the lottery kind of energy. You know what I mean? It's not the come up. It feels like a step up, right? It feels like a step up, a win, but it ain't the come up, the ultimate. And that, again, that's not to say that the shit won't feel good. If I was to get $500,000 today, that's not to say that, something's wrong with $500,000 coming today, right? But it's just not the end zone for me. It's not the end. You know what I'm saying? I need my water. I think I went upstairs earlier to get my water, and then I was sidetracked and I got my cards instead. Y'all, hold on for a bit. I gotta go get my water. I'm back, y'all. So, hindsight, like, this is my Circle water bottle. I fucking love this water bottle, and we're not sponsored yet, Circle, right? I love the Circle water bottle because, one, I'm ADHD. I don't like water. I don't like the taste of water. People think it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like a lot of things. And I don't like the taste of it. So the Circle is a good way to let me drink water that I do need, without me tasting all the contaminants, and it tastes weird. Water tastes weird to me. Anybody that's neurospicy understands when I say it just, it does. It tastes weird to me. So Circle water bottle allows that. Plus, look, little tip, if you put seltzer water in here, it works just the same. And then it feels like you're drinking a soda and you're not. And that also tricks my neurospicy brain into drinking more, because it wants the bubbles and the, again, this is not an advertisement for Circle. But I mean, Circle, if you're trying to sponsor a lady, and it's just up. I'm here for it. Anyways, as I was saying, so like, yeah, March seems like it's a win, but like we about to get to work. Okay. It's like winning that contract to build a house, and then the very next day you got to show up on site. It's that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's good shit, but it ain't the I'ma stop working and doing all that kind of energy, right? It's not the ultimate goal of yours. Spirit is telling me to bring it down a notch. I'm gonna bring it down a notch because I'm excited. I'm in a very good mood. So Spirit is telling me to calm it down, because we don't need no nosebleeds today. Okay. Spirit's message to you is be fearless in the face of the adversity, because it's only perceived adversity because you don't know what's going on, right? If I'm trying to put it in a way that is very understandable. Since you don't know the ultimate objective, right? Everything that's you're coming up against feels like opposition. It feels like this thing you have to overcome. And it's only because you don't know that's part of the plan, right? And so when you're doing this, and like say your paperwork got delayed, okay? In that instance, you're pissed off. Paperwork got delayed. I got to start all over. Like in that moment, you're mad. But that is all part of the plan. Who's to say the paperwork was going to go to the person that you needed to actually like have some empathy towards you? Maybe it wasn't. And so they needed it to be delayed. You don't know. And, a lot of people was like, oh, but it could also be the opposite. True. but I would rather believe in the positive of it than the negative. I'd rather be delusional. Like, I'd rather be the delusional bitch than to walk around all woe is me all the goddamn time. If I could look at a woe is me and turn it into a positive so that I'm not staying in that moment and holding on to it and moving on, it's a coping mechanism for me. So sometimes I'm delusionally optimistic, but it works for me. But I'm a Virgo, so I have very logical and rational observations though. So don't get it twisted. I'm not all up here, right? I'm very much down here sometimes. And that's okay. And that is okay. It makes me good at my job. It makes me good at being able to read you and put it in such a way that you understand it to make the shift and the change. That's what I am good at, right? I'm good at taking these high complex abstract ideas and making it very plain to you. That's why I love analogies for y'all that don't really know me yet. I'll throw an analogy in there, like, because we get it when we can like put it into something that we navigate through day in and day out. It doesn't stay this big idea. It becomes an experience that you may or may not have experienced, but you know of, right? And then that starts to feel different in the body, right? Because you ever read a book, right? And you don't relate. Like, you heard it, you read it, you processed it, you have all the internal blah, 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 but you don't relate, right? And then have you ever read a book where it's just like, I relate so much, that's my life, that it feels different in your body. It stops becoming this idea and becomes this experience, right? I'm good at taking the idea and make it in an experience, bitch. Like, that's what I'm good at. Okay, we in there. We in there. We in there. I got you. Just come along for the ride. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna pull some cards to anchor the conversation. I will preface this because I know there's going to be a lot of people who don't know who I am, have no idea. I am not that high and mighty to believe that everybody fucking knows who I am. However, I read intuitively. I am clairaudient. I use the cards as an anchor point to conversation. It's a jumping off point. Again, I like symbolisms and analogies. So the cards give me a symbolism and analogy of the message that I can then fine tune in the ethers and be able to give to you. That being said, the cards that I'm reading, I may not read it in the traditional tarot sense of the word. So what you know Five of Chariot to be may not be what the message articulates to be on my end. I'm just letting you know. I'm putting that disclaimer out there because I don't want nobody to be like, that's not what the chariot means. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't even read my oracle books or the tarot books that come with decks because that's not how I read. I hear everything. I have voices in my head, right? So I just don't want the confusion. So I might even leave a disclaimer on here because I don't want the confusion. Okay. I really hate not being able to have music playing, right? Again, I'm neurospicy. Like, I guess I could make it up in my head, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just be singing songs in my head. So if I bust out in a song, it's only because I can't focus. Can't focus, man. Stroke it. That shit smells so good. I love the smell of like burnt Palo Santo. Palo Santo over sage every day. Every day. I love first Palo Santo, then comes yerba mate, and then like eucalyptus and lemongrass and sweetgrass. I'm growing out of like, and I do like sage, but you know, for more ceremonial practices, I do use sage, but I'm not on a general like Palo Santo is where it's at, baby. I like the earthiness of it all. It's just so grounding, you know what I'm saying? Grounding and clearing. It's just something about it makes you feel warm inside. And at the time of filming this, we're on the full moon, Virgo full moon. Welcome, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I only say that because you'll get used to me. I swear. I swear you'll get used to me. It's okay. Um, where were we? Let me do this. My energy is super high. Um, I think that's probably why they say Ty, calm down. Ty, calm down. Ty, calm down. March energy. I need a little desk that goes like, I need that. I might have to make it. You'll know. I'm in my head. I'm sorry. Like I was here, but I wasn't. I was deep. So my bad. I'm not even gonna cut these out of the recording because This is part of the experience. Like I said, I'm an experience. If you're looking for fast microwave shit, I'm not for you. I'm gonna give you the foundational and the fundamental, because that is what sustains. All these tricks and tips and all that, it's great, great. But imagine how much better it would be when you had the foundation to withhold it, the foundation to, because what's the point of building on a rickety ass foundation? You're gonna build up, and at a certain point, it's gonna fall, because you don't have the discipline, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the energy, you don't have the wherewithal, and you weren't clear from the beginning what you desired. And so you built this house that your foundation couldn't sustain. It will fall eventually. So I am the one that's like, if you want to build it right the first fucking time, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. If you just want to throw the shit together and make it work, that ain't me. My Virgo-ness would never. My Virgo-ness would never. A lot of y'all are fighting y'all peace under the guise of boredom and stagnation. Look, stop it. Stop it. You're so addicted to the chaos. You're so addicted to just you coming and going and doing all the things that, even though you say you don't like doing all of that, when God is saying, slow down, baby, rest, you're like, but. You're fighting against what it is you say you want to call in, because you think you got to wait until you get to a certain point to have it. Once I get this, I'm gonna, take a vacation. I'm gonna take some time off. I'm gonna pay attention to my kids more, or eat better, and and it never gets there. Because soon as you meet that milestone, soon as you meet that marker, you'll just move the benchmark. Because you're never going to be fully ready. You're never going to be fully ready, because you don't even know what to anticipate to even be fully ready. So now you're waiting for this readiness that is arbitrary, is your own made up shit. God isn't saying wait until. The universe isn't saying wait until. Spirit isn't saying wait until. They said what they said. You said wait until. So guess what you get to do? You get to do it. You get to do what you know you need to do. You get to take that, you get to take that disclaimer off. Because you make the rules, baby. It's all you. All this is you. Your perception of me is you. Okay? If I'm sitting here smiling and and that bothers you, all that is you. Your experience of me is you. Everything is you. Now, I'm not blaming, I don't victim blame, okay? But I'm saying the way that we experience things and we take things in and we form our opinions and we perceive other things, it's all us. It might be a little bit of their actions thrown in, but the way that we consume it and integrate it is all us. It's all us. So, what are you doing? Because you're sitting here and you're having these complaints with spirit. What is your part of it? And if you're doing your part of it, then that should be fulfilling. And I know that we have real life shit going on, right? But in that instance, you can choose also to deviate. So the instructions that you're going down is based on what you say you want. Okay. If you're like, I got things to do, I got bills to pay, fuck that right now. I got to make it do what I do. You have a choice to deviate. The instructions that you're getting right now is merely based on what you say you want. You can change your mind and say, right now, I changed my mind. This is what I want. This is what I need right now. I could worry about all that other shit later. Okay. So if that's what you're doing, then shifting, you might get different instructions. But if you're saying, I want to be free, I want to work less, I want to this, and they're giving you instructions to slow down, to take people off your list, to stop offering this and leaving the relationship and doing all these things. And you're like, hold the fuck up. No, that is you. That ain't spirit. That's you. It ain't the universe. It ain't God. It's you. I'm just saying. So what we creating? Huh? What are we creating? Because this, I am giddy. The energy is like, so what we doing? What we doing? And if I'm in this energy, it's because there is just, it's for that time for people to just make it happen. Like to really go after their dreams. And I love helping people get what they want. And I love seeing people living happy. Like I've devoted the last 10 years to helping people find their happiness. So like, this is my bread and butter. So the fact that I'm excited means that there's some good shit happening for y'all. And I want to celebrate it. So what are we doing? What are we moving towards? We gotta know. We gotta know. Put it in there. Put it below. Put it below. Put it below. What is it that we are creating for you? So I could support it. What is that? My bad, y'all. That's gross. That was gross. Y'all are around with the cat eye. So when I channel a lot, my eyes just be, they make, and then people show up, half my, you'll come to be part of the in crowd. Okay. You'll come to be part of the in crowd. I've been shuffling these cards a lot because it feels like spirit is waiting on you. Like that's the message. Like sometimes I have to stop because I'm waiting for them to actually say something when the message is how I'm shuffling. Spirit waiting on you. You sitting here because you're sitting here. Spirit waiting on you and you waiting on spirit for instructions. And spirit said, I said, but I said, go do what you do. And you said, I can't do that until. Again, spirit said, start the podcast. You said, I can't do that until I have all my equipment, until I move into the next apartment, until I could get more clothes, until I can have the right, this. You said it. And so like 4 months later, you're like, why is all the stagnation? Because you sat on your ass. That's why all the goddamn stagnation, because you sat on your ass. Sometimes you're not going to know what you need to do until you start doing it. Okay? When you show up in it, God can speak. when you show up in it. Some things are hard for the universe, God, spirit, whatever your higher power is, to articulate to you because you have no knowledge of it. So they're going to say, go back to school, apply to get this degree. And you have to go back to school and apply to that degree. And then as you apply for the degree, they'll be like, okay, take these courses, that you'll get the next step when you need it. But the first thing, you want to know all the classes you're going to have to take in order to graduate for you to even go to the college to sign the fuck up. That's you. Does that make sense? Like, there are steps you can take. You don't have to know all the classes. You don't have to know the professor names. You don't have to know none of all that. You don't need to know none of that to go back to school. Period. And I know that I'm talking to somebody right now, spirit talking to you. Because they're too direct for it to be just as abstract. I have a tendency to pull y'all situations out the air and hand them to y'all because spirit needs y'all to know. Okay? There's very rarely my scenarios I'm coming up with in my head, very rarely are they just pulled out of my ass. Okay? 98% of the time, it struck somebody on this call. Verbatim. Okay? And it always happens. So it's going to continue to happen. So go back to school. And the complete sentence. You know steps you can take to do that. If you're worried about money, then go to the bursar's office or the finance office or whatever. Like, go to the people that can answer your questions. But no, you'd rather sit home and lull over those questions because that's safer. You're safer with the idea of going back to school than the actuality of it. And we need to start actualizing your desires in your body. Again, taking it back to the front. Like I said, it all connects. It all connects, right? Taking it back to the beginning, we're taking that abstract and bringing it down into an experience. And the only way we could take that abstract into an experience is to move. Okay? We have to integrate it. We have to step into it. What is that first step you can take? You want to lose weight? What is that first step you can take? You don't need all the fucking gadgets in the world to start. What you do need, you need a water bottle. Water comes in bottles. You know that, right? You could go buy a gallon jug of water. It comes in a bottle, right? You don't need new clothes. Your sweats is fine. You know, you don't need new food. Change the proportion first. Everybody thinks we got to go big or go home, go big or go home. But the actuality is, if you don't hit your mark, human conditioning tells us to just quit altogether. So if I'm starting out at 1,000 and I can't do that, or I can't sustain that, I'm going to fail and I'm going to fail and I'm going to fail to the point where I'm like, what's the point? I know you've done it. I've done it. I've set the bar so high for myself that it's hard for me to reach. Even if somebody else finds it achievable, it is hard for me to reach in my circumstances and where I'm at in my life and my physical, whatever the reason, is hard for me to reach. And so I bump up against it and I bump up against it and I bump up against it until I say, what's the fucking point? And that's what you're doing, right? Start smaller. I'm on it now. When I first started the year, I was like, next year, I will not be going into January 2024 the same way I've been doing these last 3 years. I'm getting rid of this fucking depression ass energy. It's getting the fuck out of here, right? I wanted to go balls to the wall. My whole house is gonna be clean by the end of the month. And the reality of it is I was failing. I'm gonna fail. I failed before. I've set that bar and I failed and I failed and I failed. Because truth be told, I have a reasonably sized fucking house. And 3 years of depression, I'm not gonna get through that in a month by myself. Physically, emotionally, energetically. So I had to start small, right? I'm gonna clean this bathroom this month or this week or the bi-weekly. Give myself whatever you feel as though it's obtainable, right? Smaller, right? And then some days it's literally just pick the clothes up off the floor and put it in the basket. Because I have fibromyalgia, I have chronic fatigue, and I have myalgic encephalitis, which is like stress seizures and stuff. There are some days I don't have it. I don't have the energy to just navigate life regularly. So I'm not gonna be adding no shit. So there are some days where it's just, okay, Todd, just wipe out the sink. This is because one step is better than none. A half a step is still better than none. A slow jog is still better than sitting on the couch. A walk is better than sitting on the couch. Some days it might just be you walking to your door or your stoop and sitting out on the stoop for 15 minutes. That might be it that day. And that's okay. But that's still better than sitting on the couch. Okay? I lead with empathy and compassion. I'm not going to tell you you ain't shit because you ain't got it. That's not what I am, right? I'm not going to tell you you must didn't want it bad enough because you don't have it already. I'm not one of them because I recognize that life be lifing. And sometimes you just ain't got it. And that's the reality of it. And then sometimes you're not mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually prepared to navigate the way that you know you need to navigate it. So I'm not ready to do it. I know I need to do it, but I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. But when you are, take the first step. Okay, babies, I ain't even pull a card yet. And I'm already giving it to your girls. I need some water, guys. I like to call my people Sadies, okay? Because it's everybody, okay? Everybody. At some point, everybody's a they or a them. You know what I'm saying? And I am not taking away from your pronouns, but I'm speaking specifically for those who don't believe that you should be able to call yourself they or them. At some point, everybody is a they or them. Somebody has referred to you before as a they or a them. That's all I'm saying. So we can all be Sadies. That's all I'm saying. All encompassing. That's my philosophy. I am not taking away from anybody. Sorry, disappeared on you again. Oh my God, they are really waiting on y'all. They're not gonna move until you move. That's point blank and period. Ain't shit gonna move until you move. That is the message. Cause like I'm trying to move on with the reading, and they keep stalling. Nothing's gonna shift until you move, regardless of what that looks like. You may be in need of something right now, and you're like, why ain't it here? Why ain't it here? And you could feel it. It's on the tip of your motherfucking fingertips. Like, it's like right there within grasp, but it keeps getting like jerked back from you. Figure out what it is you need to be doing. And it may have nothing to do with what you're waiting on. For me, it was weightlifting. I had to start weightlifting. I'm sitting here like, why isn't anything moving? Why isn't anything moving? Because, bitch, you ain't moving. And for me, as someone that's a full body channel that does energetic work day in and day out, strong body is something that I need. So they're telling me, go do that, because they're letting me know we need you strong. There must be some big fish that I'm gonna need to be stronger in the future, but I need to start now. And sometimes it doesn't make sense until it makes sense. And we're trying to make sense of it all and trying to wait it out. And spirit ain't moving until you start moving. So start moving. Do the thing. And you know what that is. Let's see, where are we? Okay. All right. Now, this part seems to be like gonna go through it a little bit quicker, because I think the message what spirit is giving you is just y'all need to fucking make the goddamn decision. I heard like the moon is in Libra or some shit right now, so y'all might be real kind of fucking flighty and like indecisive or not knowing, like, you know what you need to do, stop playing. Okay, you know what you need to do, stop playing. They told you, they've been telling you. It ain't all of a sudden. It's just all of a sudden you decided to listen. That's it. That's it. That's all. It ain't all of a sudden, like you're trying to make it out to me. Y'all real irky right now. Because again, the cards are even fucking indecisive. You know what you want, stop playing. Like, I'm not reading these. Because you know what what you want, stop playing. Like, you really playing yourself right now. Because I don't care in the grand scheme of things. I want to see you happy. But if you're like, I'm not ready right now to do that, I usually be like, all right, then. And when you are, I'll be ready to support you and root you on. And like I said, I'm not here to make you feel bad about your circumstances. That ain't what I'm doing. I'm here when you have realized your circumstances are no longer what you desire and you desire more. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to make you feel bad about it. If you want to sit in it and be comfortable with it, and I'm not saying that anything's wrong with it. If you want to be comfortable in it, that's okay. Then you don't need me. Okay? And that's fine too. I want you to not need me, but I want you to not need me and actually be happy. Okay? So, like, you're on the fence because you're trying to validate it. You're trying to make it make sense. You're trying to rationalize it. You're trying to like do everything but internalize it. You're doing all the research. You're doing all the stalling. You wait, and I gotta have this again. I gotta have that, and it ain't the right time. And what about? But what about if God already thought about all of that? What about if Spirit already thought about all of that? What about if the universe already thought about all of that and it's handled? But you will never know because you're still sitting there. Looking dumb, but crying, saying, please, Lord, help me. I need a way out. Show me the way out. And they put it up there, and you be like, you better be glad I can't read. You can read, you read it, you internalize it, you know what you need to do the thing. Do the thing. I'm here to tell you, do the thing. I think there's only like 1 month, like this is the last month before a planet starts to go retrograde, right? So like there's been this collective clearing out all the bullshit. You've been going through it. I know you have. The first and second part of the year, like all those little end of the line shit, but it felt like it went out with a bang. It's just irky as little shit that's just like, come on now. Why is it felt like inconveniences? Like, why? That is just residual bullshit being left over from your last chapter. Now we're into this newness, but you got to know what we're writing. Don't let nobody else write your story. Stop letting motherfuckers narrate your story. I'm here to help you pen your own story. It could be a telenovela, it can be a novel, it can be short form poetry. The next chapter can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. I'm here to help you create it. You're on the fence because you want to write historical fiction and somebody else is telling you that you should do slam poetry. And you good at slam poetry, but it ain't what you want to do. But slam poetry might have been how you was paying your bills. And now you've reached a point where you don't even want to do that no more. And you still really want to do historical fiction. Now is the time to be like, I show gratitude for how I was making my way, but I'm choosing something different right now, right? And we look that way. Just know that when you started slam poetry, you wasn't all that. You ain't hit the ground running. There was some shit that you had to do to rev up to get to where you are. You're going to have the same shit over here, but on a grander scale because it's in alignment. You're going to love doing it. The experience is just going to be different because you're going to embody it differently. You're going to experience it differently because it's what you want to do. You ever did some shit with somebody that you know to your truest form you did not want to do, but you did it for them. Now, same person you're with, y'all mutually like some shit and you go out and you love it and you have a grand ass time. Those two experiences are fucking different. Even though the two parties together, same parties, is because you're doing the other one for that person. Again, it's more of an abstract instead of an internalized experience of it. Like, if you don't get this message, you don't get this message. And I don't think I need to go any further. I don't think I need to go any further. Okay. Here is where I will invite you to become a Vibe member in the Patreon. They get these raw and unedited. They get extended versions. Depending on your level, you could get the monthly yoga. And I also do energy readings for the month, similar to this, but very different if you're within my energy. When I say within my energy, is within one of my containers. I have a few energetic containers out there, which is the Vibe members is one, right? Those of you that are within that, your energy readings are a little bit different because I do energy work on y'all behalf. Speaking of which, I also lead monthly yoga and movement sessions, which you will have access to in the Patreon as well. So I just invite you to become a Vibe member. We're probably going to end up having merch and all that other stuff. You already will get a discount also on Golden Earth Botanics. And I think I'm going to create a Vibe member specific package for y'all, to like a starter package if y'all want. Just let me know. All right. And our sponsor, of course, Golden Earth Botanics, where they specialize in TH-free healing and alternative smoke rituals. So again, you could partake in the smoking lifestyle while also healing your mind, body, and spirit through the use of terpenes and CBD. All right, my loves. Night.